actually.
We'll take that. So, the author of My Kid Brothers Band, a.k.a. The Beatles, Louise Harrison joins us here on Facebook. So great to have you here.
Thank you.
And we have Marty Scott as well.
Yes.
He plays George in Liverpool Legends, which is coming up tomorrow night at Topeka Performing Arts Center.
He's my current brother.
Your current brother? He looks good. Looks good. Absolutely.
Well, you're not so bad yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take that any day, any day. Awesome. Well, it is wonderful to have you guys here. You guys have been running around all over Topeka getting ready for the show this week, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's a
yes.
big day.
Yeah. We've done 2 TV shows so far.
Wow.
And a couple
Radio?
of radio shows.
This is the
and
biggest one of all.
This is
Yes,
the
it is.
Facebook.
A ribbon cutting for the Chamber
Yeah.
of Commerce.
They finally got me into my Facebook. I've had Facebook now for several months. I think I've only been on it about twice. But I'm sorry, folks, but I don't get a chance to do it very often. But thank you so much for responding when I do it. So here I am again. Just to let you know, I'm still alive.
I'm alive!
Yeah, anybody familiar with The Life of Brian, that movie? That's where that line came from.
Wonderful. Well, Larry, when you guys came in here, you were telling me about some of the stories because you've been following these guys around all day today, and you just it's a treasure.
Following us around for about 10 years. Larry.
Exactly.
Going through your garbage and whatnot.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
It's been about 10 years. Right?
It has.
Really?
Yeah. It's very strange. I'm not strange, but wonderful. I lived in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and at the Ameristar Casino, the Liverpool Legends were performing, and I happened to go see it. I fell in love, with the music. Talked with Marty after the show, and he says, "We've got to do something here." We worked out it was a July 4th Independence Day celebration, and the city sponsored a free show. There were 15,000 people with fireworks in the background, and this is the Gibraltar of the South, about 1,000 degrees outside, and these guys were melting and held up like troopers. It was wonderful.
Awesome.
We've been friends ever since.
That's
we
it.
can't get rid of the guy.
Exactly.
And, no, honestly though, every show we've ever done with Larry has been top notch. So he does everything right. So we're happy to be here.
I just met him yesterday, and he's now my new best friend.
I want to be the adopted brother.
Oh, yeah.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Be,
You can pull it off. I can see the resemblance.
brothers from another mother.
Yeah. No, didn't we say that you were going to be my other son?
That or whatever. I mean, BFF, whatever you want to be, I'm in.
Yeah.
Well,
as far
I've been doing that. I love it.
well, as far as I'm concerned, though, every Beatle fan in the world is part of my global family. So whether you're a son or a brother, you're part of my family anyway. So everybody out there that's watching on Facebook, hi, I'm your mum.
The Queen Mum.
Yeah,
Queen Mum, yeah.
Queen Mum right here. And we just had tea. We're having tea here.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
It's great to be doing this. It's
I've
amazing.
been driving them crazy, telling them the water has to be actually boiling when you put it on the tea.
And
Whole milk. Right?
and I found out that Brits do not like air conditioning
No,
or ice cubes.
ice cubes, no.
No. And boiling hot water.
Yeah.
It's the only way to infuse the tea bag.
Yeah, and here comes the sun. We happen to like the sun as well.
That's good. It's very good.
Because it never comes out in London too often. That's why.
No.
That's right. Okay, so we've got these guys here, and they're ready to answer your questions if you have questions. If you've got friends who would love to see the show or would love to have the opportunity to speak to George Harrison's big sister, it's so cool to have you here. I
She's
can't
only about
believe it.
5'3". She's not that big.
I'm only 5'1.5".
5'1.5". Let's get that correct.
That's right. Okay, well, we're going to follow this through here. So what I'm going to do here, just so we can get a good audience, is make sure that we all go to our Facebooks and share this link from Topeka Performing Arts Center here, and then share it with all your friends so that they have the ability to tune in and ask questions if they want here while we're doing this. Okay, now, where are we at here?
We're at what, 1.5 followers? What? No.
You guys actually have quite a following. You were talking about Liverpool Legends. There's
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
there's quite a few people on the page.
Luckily,
there.
people like the Beatles.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
Hey,
very
but
good.
if you're having people ask questions,
Yeah.
where's the list of answers?
I know, right? I put my
I've been-
tap shoes in.
Yeah,
so in
we've
case
been
there's
watching
something
the campaign, and
Yeah,
I think you're only supposed to ask questions if they have the answers.
that's true. I don't have any answers.
Exactly.
So we'll just have to make them
Just
up.
like I used to do in school. You write them on your hand.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes, I'm going to build the wall, and Mexico will pay for it.
Yeah. Exactly. Awesome. Well, this is it's wonderful to have you guys here. And we're looking at a post I did earlier today where I was asking some of my friends, please give us questions if you like. We're happy to answer, we're happy to talk about them here. Now, the question I've got, see, there's so many things to flip around here with this stuff. There it is. The question I got was from Steve Waugh, and he said, did George make the trip to India? If so, how did you think it affected his music?
Did he make the trip to India a number of times, obviously, yeah. Yes, it did affect his music to some degree, because obviously he had met Ravi Shankar and became intrigued with the sitar and started to learn how to play that. And as a matter of fact, Marty, who's in my band, he also has learned how to play the sitar. And in some of our shows, he actually sits on his little magic carpet and plays the sitar.
Flies.
Yeah.
That's
They-
good.
yeah.
The interesting about India is Louise has a letter from her mother right around that time telling her, yeah, George is in India with Patty, right?
Yeah.
And she says something like, and Ringo hates it there because he doesn't like
Doesn't
the
like
food
the
or
food.
something. It's a cool letter from her mother back just right that week when they were going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, talking of Mum's letters, I've actually put together a CD of her letters. I need to give you one. But
Thank you.
The interesting reason why we actually did that, you had read some of her letters. I had kept a lot of them, and during the times when we've been working together, sitting in the dressing room in the evening, he was aware of some of the letters and said, oh, this is pretty interesting. It's kind of history because...
It's pretty neat stuff that,
Yeah.
her mom was just telling her what was going on, even before they were famous.
Yes.
So it's pretty neat.
Well, that's a question for you. What
Yeah.
was it like that your little brother got this huge amount of fame? What did that do to you? Like, how did you feel? What was it like for Louise Harrison at this moment when your brother's just this international star?
Right now I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, all right.
That's pretty famous.
That's pretty good.
She's got her own page.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like growing up with that, like what did it?
Well, I was already grown up when it happened.
Yeah.
You see, I had moved to this country in 1963, and I was in my early 30s, and I had 2 little children. So I was running around trying to get their records played in this country. So it was all a big job for me. It was a lot of hard work trying to get them going. So I've never really seen it, same as my mom, we've never really seen it as a big to-do. It's just been part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, I didn't know anything different than having a Beatle for a brother.
But what about, you said the Beatles music overseas in England,
Yeah.
all you had to do was go on the BBC and that was it?
That was it. That was it for the entire country. As long as somebody on the BBC accepted your record and started playing it, the entire nation was into you, and plus then it would also get into Australia and some of the, the parts of the so-called British Empire, But in this country at that time, when I was going around the radio stations, there was approximately 6,000 independent stations, and each independent station could only have associates of 6. They were allowed to have 6 stations belonging to the one group. So to get national coverage in this country was very, very difficult. And one of the things I learned was that unless you had a major record company behind you, you didn't have much chance of making any kind of a big wave. So those are the things that I passed on to the people in England, so that they would know that you can't just walk into a radio station in the United States and be completely all over the entire country, so kind of helped to give them a little advice along the way.
Absolutely.
I think it was Louise who prompted, was it Brian Epstein? And said, you need to get them on the Ed Sullivan Show. And this is 6 months before they made their trip, the triumphant entry from Paris to New York.
That's amazing.
Oh, and talking of that, you had asked me earlier today when I was doing a TV thing about George being the quiet one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there again, that's something that obviously I was privy to. When they arrived in New York from Paris on the 5th of February, the 7th of February in 1964, George had a strep throat. And he was really ill. His temperature was 104 degrees. So we were all there in the hotel, in the Plaza Hotel. And George called the hotel doctor. It was a Dr. Gordon. The doctor came up to the suite and examined George and said, this kid's really ill. And he said to Brian Epstein, I'm going to have to send him into the hospital. Well, immediately, Brian Epstein just about had a heart attack. Right? They almost had to take him to hospital. And he said, no, this is terrible, we can't, So anyway, long story short, I was put in charge of looking after him and giving him medications and everything. And, he was put in the bedroom and told to be quiet. Well, all through that weekend, when they were having press conferences and everything, George was unable to speak very much. So that was how he suddenly became the quiet one. And he's probably not even as quiet as I am. But
I have a big sister who never really let me get a word in edgewise growing up. So did he give the kind of fight that I would have given to my big sister?
No, because I was 11 years older than him.
I've got my sister's 12 years older
Really?
than me. Yeah.
Oh, well, you see the picture on the front of the book?
Yeah.
There? I mean, he was just a little guy.
Wow.
And just hold it right up here.
There's me in the middle, and then he's a little baby there.
Yeah.
So, obviously he was, I wasn't going to hurt him. He was my little baby brother, So no, we never had any. Now this brother over here, Harry.
This
there
one in the back?
No, that was the
okay.
other. But anyway, my oldest brother, Harry, the one that was just 3 years younger than me, but we used to fight. I remember one time we were fighting, and he let's see here. I made his nose bleed. I hit him in the face and made his nose bleed. He hit me in the eye and gave me a black eye. And unfortunately, the black eye, his nosebleed stopped in about 5 minutes. My black eye kept changing color from, black to purple to red to green and everything for about a week. Oh. And it ended up, we were having our mark, at the end of term, reading the marks in the thing at this Catholic convent. And when they read out my marks, the head nun reads out my marks. She says, Louise Harrison with a black eye. And everybody in the school had to turn around and look at me. So I didn't enjoy having that black eye.
I never heard that story. That's a great story.
I never told
And
you that.
now you know the rest of the story.
As Paul Harvey there. Okay, so we do have a question from Megan. What's your favorite Beatles song?
Just about all of them, really.
Yeah.
But I think the most significant of the Beatles songs, in my opinion, is the one that John wrote, Imagine. Because I think the lyrics of that song saying, imagine all the people living life in peace.
Yeah.
Imagine all the people sharing all the world. I think those lyrics are something that everybody should think about all the time, and maybe one day it would be wonderful if the world really could live that way.
Wow, absolutely.
I'm getting Helter Skelter myself.
Yeah.
The Stones covered it.
Awesome.
I'm getting chills. That was great. That was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to come up with what we're going to say when we're speaking with royalty, right?
Well, I asked Louise in the car, I said, what is your favorite George song? And please repeat that for everybody here.
Oh, Cheer Down. Yeah. Which is sort of like another way of saying curb your enthusiasm.
Yeah, excellent.
And I asked what album it was from. He said it's not. It was in a movie.
I think it was a movie, something like, what did I say the movie was? Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Something like that, yeah. Wow. But he does some wonderful, what do you call it, slide guitar on that. And I love his slide guitar. Really do.
Is Marty learning that? Will he be?
I hope so. But he's doing pretty good, though, learning the sitar.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He's got 127 strings, and I know 125 of them, so I got 2 more to go.
You're missing it by that much.
Almost. You're almost there. Oh, wow. Okay, here's one from Linda. Louise, can you tell how George wrote Here Comes the Sun? You told me in Branson one time, but it's something a lot of people would have no idea. It says, "Hi, Marty, love you both." That's from Linda Butler there. So yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Linda.
Hi, Linda. I've forgotten what it was I told her, but I think it was something to do with him being out in the back in the garden, in his garden at Friar Park, and it had been kind of rainy and, dark clouds.
I think it was maybe Eric Clapton's house. Somebody told me.
Yeah, something
Wow.
like that. And then all of a sudden the clouds dispersed and the sun came, and he thought, here comes the sun, and the rest is history.
And he kind of had that riff a little bit like, it's real similar to If I Needed Someone, which he wrote a while back. So he was already messing around with, you put a capo on the 7th fret and you play a D chord and you're really an A. So I think he just was messing around with that similar style of riff, and to me, that's my interpretation of it as a guitar
As a
player.
musician. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I have to ask you this from a Topeka standpoint, because we do a show called Talk About Topeka. So, what do you think of Topeka since you've been here?
I love it.
Awesome.
It's great fun. Yeah.
There you go. She loves it.
Yeah, I
People,
do.
Topeka. Here we
It's
go.
been the most fun. This town
Yeah,
is
it
great.
really has.
We're-
Awesome.
Yeah, Larry's been treating us like so great.
Like
And,
royalty.
Yeah, well,
We're
even
not
me, that's right.
worthy.
No, don't do that.
No, we got to see a bit of the town today.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
to where's that place we went to lunch? That was great.
To where?
The place we had lunch
We had
today?
lunch at Julie's.
Yeah,
Love it.
it was great sandwiches
Yeah.
there.
Great downtown business.
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. And Wayne
Ching,
and
when you say that, you're supposed to go ching ching, because now they're supposed to buy some more tickets to the show.
exactly. and we had some great paninis, a ham and Swiss, and just great stuff.
Yeah.
You wait a few extra minutes because everything's cooked, to order. But we also had the commitment at noon at TPAC for the ribbon cutting. So I
Which
said,
was
let's.
great. The Hayden High School band was there. Wasn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
that was wonderful.
Right.
All the kids. Yeah.
And they get to play with you guys.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, they're doing the whole a good chunk of the second half. All the Sgt. Pepper songs that we charted out all the music, and so they'll be joining us for a good portion of the show. So it should be really fun.
I had asked Josh Benjamin, the band director,
Yeah.
if they would play Beatles music at the ribbon cutting, and he said if we played anything, you wouldn't recognize it because we're doing the orchestration, bum, 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 but it's Penny Lane, and so.
You have to have all the parts there to
Right.
make
Yeah.
that make any sense.
But I'm looking forward to it. The kids are excited. They all wanted to gather around Louise and get a picture. Of course, everybody, doesn't matter what age, 87, they know the Beatles.
107.
107, exactly. That's a rookie year for a Catholic nun. You realize, and they will be there tomorrow because of Hayden High School.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. And going back with Liverpool Legends, it's been a show in Branson for a while as well, right?
Yeah, we started in 2005. So
Yeah.
It's been we're in our 11th season there.
Wow.
Still going
What's
strong.
it like to compose a show like this? To put it all together. Go back to 2005.
Yeah.
And,
Well, he's the genius behind all that.
No genius. I mean, it's funny because when we started, we didn't really have a show. We were just kind of playing songs, and then as you do that about 1,000 times, and you figure out what songs go together and what happens between songs. Which the show is kind of what happens between the songs, and then there's music. So you just kind of figure that out by doing so many. I mean, the first few years we were playing 5 shows a week for 10 months out of the year.
Wow.
So we call that the Hamburg
Well, what-
days of where we learned how to play and we learned how to. I mean, we knew how to play, but that's really where we learned how to have a show. And we're
But what-
still working on
yeah,
it.
what he put together was a whole script, basically, which I'm never usually scripted, but at this occasion I was, where we told the story of the whole Beatles story to go in a video form behind the show.
And it's all
so
like
that-
narrated by Louise. So
Yeah.
it's
So in each gap, a change of tempo or the change of timing, of a different album, we have the little narration going all through the show.
So you get a bit of history
Yeah.
of the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's not like a history lesson or anything because most people know, a lot about the Beatles because there's been so many TV things and movies and stuff. But it's a little bit of a personal interludes from Louise, which makes it sort of like no other show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I can add little things like talking about the Shea Stadium show, about nobody could hear the Beatles. And I was able to add from my own personal knowledge from George telling me that while they were singing the show, that all of a sudden they realized that two of them were singing one song and the other two were singing something else, and they couldn't even hear each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Will you be doing the pre-show that will start a little bit earlier that has...
Don't give it away, Larry. Don't give it away.
Well, we do have a clip here that we could show.
And we do want people to come early because people tend to walk in 5-10 minutes before the show, and that's okay if that's your time frame.
Show up very early. Larry is going to sing a 20-minute version of
Here comes the sun.
right
of Inagata Davida.
That's right. That's right.
He did
There's
that.
going to be all kinds of surprises tomorrow, and Larry is part of that. We're not going to say what it is, but yeah, definitely come early and
Stay late.
Stay late. That's right.
So, speaking of Liverpool legends, we do have a clip we're going to show those watching on Facebook here. So we'll be right back right after this clip, so you can get an idea for what it looks like on stage here. So enjoy it. Then check out tpactix.org and get your tickets for the show tomorrow night. We'll be right back
and you
here.
can go to liverpoollegends.com and get some more info about us and videos and things like that as well.
Perfect.
I'm Louise Harrison. Most of you have probably heard of my kid brother George. Back in the 60s, he was in a pretty famous band. They were called the Beatles. Liverpool legends are the closest you will ever get to hearing and seeing the real Beatles. Liverpool legends are the best reproduction I have ever seen, and I should know, since I handpicked these lads myself.
Nominated for a Grammy in 2012, Liverpool Legends, performing songs spanning the entire career of the Beatles and the solo years that followed. Liverpool Legends recreates the Fab Four with precise attention to every musical detail. Combined with authentic costumes, vintage instruments, and special effects, Liverpool Legends will make you feel like you're watching the real thing.
These are exactly the kind of fun-loving, quality musicians that my brother George would have loved to hang out with. Liverpool Legends uses no pre-recorded tapes or tracks and no lip-syncing. It's all live.
Don't miss Liverpool Legends' recreation of the band that changed the face of music forever. Call 417-893-0464 now for more information or visit online at liverpoollegends.com. Liverpool Legends, now touring in 2012. Call 417-893-0464. Liverpool Legends is the complete Beatles experience.
Amazing stuff. Very cool. We're really looking forward to the show tomorrow night. Of course, tpactix.org is the place to get your tickets.
Or TopekaPerformingArts.org. We have two websites, but
That's right.
we're moving to
Ticketmaster even, right?
Ticketmaster.com, LiverpoolLegends.com. The show is listed there.
Just show up at Larry's doorstep.
Just knock on the door.
Yeah.
We'll answer. We'll sell you tickets. They're flying off the shelf.
He was actually my Uber driver earlier today, so find him on
Exactly.
Very good
Absolutely.
stuff. Okay, we want to talk a little bit about your book because we've got some comments here that have come in on our
really?
post.
Oh.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. We have. It looks like. I want to make sure we're still on here. Is that good?
We're still live.
All right.
We're live.
Okay, excellent.
We're
excellent.
alive.
Okay.
alive.
Okay. Here we go.
Don't know about the rest of
Well, I'm
you.
looking here, making sure everybody can see what we're doing here. All right. Excellent. Okay. So we're looking right now at some more comments here, and the comment about your book from Melinda Caraway. She said, "Read your book, Louise. Read your book recently, and I loved it. Hi, Marty. See you soon in Branson." So there's a good one right there.
Yeah.
This was from Melinda Caraway.
Hey, Melinda.
There you go.
Hi. Please.
Awesome. Okay, so we want to talk about your book, My Kid Brother's Band, a.k.a. the Beatles. How cool is that to be able to be the title of a book for someone? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what put all this together? I mean, obviously your experiences, there's book is full of plenty of experience. There's a really good section on pictures that are just amazing in there. And tell us a little bit about the book here.
Well, for the last 40 years or so, people have been saying to me, when are you going to write a book? And I said, well, there's so many books about the Beatles. They don't need any more. The thousands of books about the Beatles. And so, but people have said to me, well, maybe there's lots of books, but there's nobody written a book who's a sister of a Beatle, because you're the only sister of any of the Beatles, and you would have a different perspective. So anyway, finally, after living my life for 80 years, I finally decided, okay, I'll write this book. Mm-hmm. Because in the meantime, I was having books, people would be sending me the books, and I would read some of them. But I came to the conclusion that a good percentage of the books about the Beatles were written by people who'd maybe just been on the same plane as them once, mm-hmm. or, maybe been on the bus that they were on, but didn't really know anything about them. And an awful lot of the stuff in these books was just pure myth. Mm-hmm. And I used to think to myself, I wonder what they've been smoking, when they wrote this book.
They wrote it in Colorado, clearly.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
For medicinal purposes only.
Exactly. But, it was just ridiculous. So finally I said, oh, well, okay, I'll write the book. So I spent about 3 years putting the book together. And, try, to share my my experiences both with and without the Beatles. And when I got the manuscript together, I found myself a literary agent. Mm-hmm. And off he went to New York and all these various places to all the major book people. Anyway, after about 3 months, he came back to me and he said, most of the comments that I'm getting is, does she have any real good juicy dirt about the Beatles? And I said, that's not the kind of book I'm writing.
Yeah.
I said, it's going to, all I'm trying to do is to tell the truth as opposed to all of the other nonsense that's out there. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, I did spend many years of my life giving radio reports during the early Beatle years in order to put the story straight, mm-hmm. To correct all the things that were going on around there. So anyway, had the book together and decided I'm not going to go with any of the big guys, obviously. So I found a little mom and pop kind of publisher in Missouri, in a little town in Missouri. And he was a very, very nice man. And he has made an absolutely fabulous product. And I don't know if we can show this, but not only did he put a cover, mm-hmm. a dust cover on it, but he also made the book.
It's
most books
beautiful.
are just a piece
yeah.
of, canvas on
mm-hmm.
it. But
look, there's another picture on those.
And so, anyway, but the thing is, he did not have much in the way of resources. Mm-hmm. He's made a very, very good product, but he didn't have marketing resources.
Mm-hmm. However, we have them tomorrow night at our show.
Yeah,
very limited.
These books will be available.
Signed by Louise.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And all I have done now is say, okay, forget about the marketing them in the big stores and everything, because I got nothing out of that. So now I buy the book for half price and sell it for twice of the half price, mm-hmm. and it's far better
that would
because
be regular price.
Yeah, so
twice the half price is normal price.
So I get to meet just about everybody that buys the book now, or at least I sign it for everybody. So that's what we're doing. And this gentleman here has offered to maybe let people know that they can buy the book through him too. So.
But I think she brought 40 books.
40 books, yeah.
And once
She's getting into publishing now.
Once these 40 are gone, we have made some order blanks, and we'll have people, prepay for them. And once we have all of those books that we know that orders that we have, then we'll collect them and we'll send send the check to Louise, and then she'll send all the books back to us, and we'll notify the folks when they're here.
Sign those as well.
Oh,
or
yeah.
you could buy 2 for twice the price.
Exactly.
Excellent.
1 for $30, but we're giving you a special deal, 3 for $90.
You better act now, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not all. There might be
Does
some
it
Guinness
slice
throwing
and
Louise.
dice?
She's going to show up at your
If you
house.
call right now,
The Ginsu knives come with it? Or
does not include postage handling. Shipping is extra.
Oh, okay. So we got a couple more things here. Megan on Facebook says, my 9-year-old is watching with me and singing Yellow Submarine.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see you guys play tomorrow night.
good.
Very good. And
At least we know there's one person coming with her kid.
That's it.
we also had someone say, I saw the show in Mexico. So you've been international.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, that's
We're
not
in
the only
Mexico. Can we
place.
ask that? Where'd you see us?
Yeah, if you're Oscar, if you're still watching here on Facebook, tell us where you
hola,
saw
Oscar,
Yeah.
hola.
it. Yeah, Oscar
¿Cómo
Luna.
está,
Yeah.
Oscar.
And we have Morgan Hammond. She said, have seen the show 3 times at the lake in Missouri, and every time was awesome, and the guys always took time to take pics with everyone that wanted them.
We'll be back
So-
there in March, that
Yeah.
second weekend in March.
Is that the Lake of the
Yeah,
Ozarks?
that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm, absolutely. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, this is wonderful. Amazing. Again, what a great opportunity to
Absolutely.
hear.
Tickets are on sale. They're flying, as we mentioned, as low as $25. And I don't know if any of the $40 tickets are left. I believe the floor is nearly completely gone. And so we're the balcony, but there is no seat in football terms that is more than 40 yards
Plus,
away.
we look better from far away, right? Don't we? That's
I do anyway, that's
Exactly.
for sure.
Just like, I'll sing solo. Solo, you can't hear me. That's, exactly.
Right.
And they have a bar there at TPAC. So if you see me there and you want me to look better, I'll
Exactly.
There's nothing
have a
worse
few of
than a
those, too.
bunch of drunken Beatle fans.
There are a lot of groups that are coming tomorrow. I know.
Stone fans are worse.
Right.
Yeah, they
Security
are worse,
Benefit
yeah.
Group, Federal Home Loan Bank, Schwartz Design, Vision Bank, Advisors Excel, and I apologize that I can't think of Capital Federal Bank is coming. These are all folks who have bought blocks of tickets for their employees, and so we've got several sections of Beatles fans that will all be kind of acknowledged.
Hey, are
tomorrow.
all these banks bringing some money with them?
All right.
Exactly. Bring their ATM cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cash them out first and bring them.
So the traveling part of this, to bring a show to TPAC, there's a lot of
it's a
equipment,
lot of
there's a
work.
lot of everything. Like, just paint that picture for us of
For us, it
what
wasn't
that's
too
like.
bad because it was it's a pretty good striking distance from Branson.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
amazing we haven't been here before. I don't know
Yeah.
why because
It's great when we
'cause
can
it's,
drive to somewhere instead of going by plane.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Yeah.
3 days ago I was on a plane and then another plane and then another plane, and
Yeah.
so this is something within 5 hours is great because, and then also what we're doing is we're trying to spread the word about our show in Branson. So, in a perfect world, we'll come to a town like Topeka and then make a bunch of new fans, and then they'll all come see us in Branson, and then we'll come back here, and then they'll come and see us in Branson again, and then so that's
That's
how
what-
it works for us. So
Yeah.
we look for the travel was actually great. It's not too bad at all.
Yeah, because apart from our show being worth coming for, it's also a very, very nice holiday resort. And there's loads of other shows as well. If you bring your whole family with you, something for everybody. And beautiful, lots of good fishing and all that kind of thing. So it's a really good town to come to enjoy a week or a weekend.
That's Larry. He's even got a place there now, right?
It did. My wife and I, we consolidated all the timeshares we had and made sure. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to give the plug to the place, but it's right on the Lake of
It's
the
called
Ozarks.
Summer Winds. I'm pretty sure.
There we go. Which is the resort that does sponsor and work with the Liverpool Legends, and it's right on the Lake of the Ozarks. But for the folks in Topeka, if you haven't bought your tickets, please do, because you'll treat yourself not only to the gift of entertainment, but you'll see something that is really, really special. And we want to build this so that year after year we have the annual return of the Liverpool Legends and make some big noise. So maybe it's a euphemism, but let's pack TPAC tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, just like we do to the, next year will be our 4th year to spend the 4th of July at the Rose Bowl.
Wow.
And we have something like 44,000 people showing up for that.
Okay,
So
we've got to ask what's that like?
it's fun. Next year, they're wanting us to do a Sergeant Pepper show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because it's next year's the anniversary of that. So
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about the Beatles. Every year there's something. It's kind of an anniversary of something, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. You know,
Yeah.
then it'll be the anniversary when they broke up. Then it'll,
And then
so
another
it's
5
been.
years, I'll be 90.
So actually, so at the Rose Bowl.
You're still in your 20s. I mean, you look great.
How we're playing with the band, the school band tomorrow,
Oh,
Hayden.
yeah.
We're doing something similar at the Rose Bowl, and I think they're talking to like the USC band maybe or something like that. So, so that will be something really special.
I was very surprised and pleased that we were able to bring them this year because you played at Carnegie Hall in March or April, and that was kind of a celebratory 50 years after the Beatles did their last show, and Ed Sullivan, and they sold out at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall was okay, but TPAC is much cooler than Carnegie Hall. So this
Folks,
is
you
that
heard
clip.
it.
Everybody saved that clip.
Yeah. I was with them when they did the Carnegie Hall one.
She was with them and with
the
us.
Beatles.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yesterday and today.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? Very good. Very good. Well, the Beatles, you have the chance to see Liverpool Legends tomorrow night.
And to meet Louise Harrison.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Am I going to be there?
It's been a long day. We're getting a little loopy.
Very good. Well, I want to thank you so much for dropping by today. And, one more question because we see you here. What about the rest of the cast? Let's talk about them for just a
They're on their way here as we speak. That's right. We came in early, so they had the day off today.
And so finding a cast that, I mean, these are very specific roles. You know, how was that?
It's not very easy to find guys because it's not like, you have to find 4 guys that, look a certain way, and then, you have to. For us, you have to have a guy portraying Paul that can play lefty, and that's so our guy is actually righty, and he's had to switch to make it look right. And and then you have to find people with certain ranges in their voices and to be able to. So it's not like just finding like a guy who can impersonate Elvis or something. It's more like a piece of a puzzle to try to find what we had to do. And luckily, we found guys that we like to hang out with.
Yeah. And that's important too. We have to be a team.
Yeah.
That we
being in a band is like you have to like the people you hang out with. So our show, and it shows when we play, we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's genuine fun.
And that's how the audience enjoys it too, because they know we're having fun.
Yeah.
And if you look at clips of the Beatles, you can tell that they were they
Having
were
fun,
They were buds.
Half the time they were just cracking up, which was in it. So it's playing music is fun. So that's the way it's supposed to be.
I remember you saying in one of the promos, these are just the kind of fun-loving lads that my brother would have loved to have hang out with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we'd probably let him hang out if he was around.
Yeah. George, come on in.
Wouldn't kick him out of the dressing room.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, folks, check it out. Liverpool Legends happening at Topeka Performing Arts Center. Again, while you're there, be sure to pick up Louise Harrison's book.
Well, there's only 40 of them.
There's only 40 of them right there. So, and if
We're
we
taking
sell more,
orders.
we will take orders for you. So we'll
And when
be
the
sure to
books are
get them
gone,
to
you can just pick up Louise.
There you go.
Hey, I'm getting to be a bit too heavy for that.
Very
he ain't
good.
heavy, he's my brother. That's not a Beatles song.
Well, thank you so much. We will see you there tomorrow night, and along everybody who's been watching, we're going to bring them along too.
Okay.
It's
And
gonna
for
be a great
those
show.
of them on Facebook who are too far away, come and see us somewhere else if you can't get to Topeka.
Yep, and you have your dates on LiverpoolLegends.com,
Website,
or the
yeah.
website. Yep,
On the
so
website.
check it out there. Larry, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This is very
Appreciate
cool.
it.
Glad we could do this. And
Yeah,
thank you.
it's fun.
Break a leg tomorrow night, of course.
Oh, no.
Is that-
not Louise?
No.
Don't you?
Because I'll actually break it.
Oh, okay. I won't say that.
No, don't say that.
Always
Awesome.
breaking bones.
So what do we say? What do we say for
We
the?
say
Good luck.
rock and roll, baby. That's what we
Rock
say.
on.
Well, take care.
We'll take that. Definitely do that.
Cheers.
So until tomorrow night, take care. We'll see you at Topeka Performing Arts Center. Thank you so much. This has really been a treat to host you here in the Break Room in downtown Topeka. I'm Chris Schultz, and we will see you tomorrow night at Topeka Performing Arts Center.
Thank you. Cheerio, everyone.
Peace out.